Hey, what's up? Jameson here in Boston. I just want to say something. I don't tune into the news. I've never registered to vote. I grew up in a religion where we didn't have a dog in that race, as Prince put it. And we stay out of politics as a whole, Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm not a practicing, meeting-going Jehovah's Witness right now, but I still have been raised with those ideologies as to, take the world and separate yourself from it. And so I don't subscribe to politics or a lot of that stuff. I do see it. I do witness it. I do hear about the fears around white heterosexual males being demonized and white people getting killed. And I see the hate and the racism that's projected by the media, because I just got out of an Uber with a guy from Brazil. They're the most beautiful people. Mexicans, the most beautiful people. Even Muslims, as much as the riffraff is going on about that, beautiful people who just want to serve God in their own individual way. And I'm just tired of the hate. I'm tired of my friends telling me their political side in a bullying way, calling me names or trying to make me feel stupid for asking questions or questioning what it is that they believe or what they think is right. Because I don't know. I don't really have a horse in that race. And so I've had beautiful, loving, people in my life, not in my life anymore. I've had people come by my social media page because I asked questions and they immediately jumped to the fact that I was on the opposite side of them, even though I didn't say anything indicative of that. I've actually been in favor of both sides. I've criticized both sides, but all the liberals are going to see is that I'm not speaking the same language as them, so I must be a Trumper, or all the Trump people are going to say, oh, well, he's accepting and he's down for equality, he's down for human rights, that he must be a libtard. And I'm just tired of it. I don't know what happened to our country. I don't know. Like, we have new residents here, and if you get off the news and you just go outside and you walk down the street, you'll see beautiful people trying to serve God in their own way. People doing the best they can with their economic situation. You'll see people who just want to be loved, who just want to have water to drink, food to eat, and a place to sleep and feel safe. And we don't have a lot of that today. And it hurts my heart. I'm in fear a little bit. I understand the LGBTQ community feels threatened as well. They can't express themselves without any resistance, and the old cultures, these are all cultural things, right? The old cultures of the old 80s and 90s American white male, white families, working class has been diminished and it's still being diminished. Everybody's being diminished and replaced by AI and robots. And I'm just in fear. I don't know what to expect coming down the road. I don't know what to expect coming out of my friends' mouths anymore, or anybody's mouth. I don't even want to go on Facebook anymore. I've unfollowed so many people, and everybody's on edge. And it's just not conducive for a peaceful environment anymore, on the internet, and in communities, And when you walk down the street, you hear about the politics. You hear about everything. You can't get away from it, even in real life, away from a phone. And I'm guilty of it too. I'm guilty of it too. I'm not immune. But everybody's walking around with a phone in their face. And they're not creating content like I'm doing. They're consuming content. And I just want to put a small prayer, intention, meditation, and hold this entire planet in a loving glow of gold, and ask for everybody to reach deep down and just get back to that inner child of surrender and, not seeing color and accepting everybody, and being creative and thinking about building airplanes and flying all over the world, and that imaginative little kid that we used to be before life happened, or before we lost our innocence, or before we got abused, or any of that stuff, and just come into this golden globe as we breathe together, Yahweh, and wish on our enemies the biggest, best life times 10, and thank them for the lessons, and thank the strangers for coming here, and thank the world for coming together and giving us an opportunity to learn from each other, because this will pass and we'll come into unity. We will come to a canvas of just variety in multiple cultures. The food will come together, the traditions will come together. There's peace on the other side of this. And that's the hope, right, that we have right now. It's just chaos and confusion, and we don't know where all these new people came from, and our jobs are getting lost, and the economy is crap. We're fighting wars over in Iran when our own country is in shambles. None of it makes any sense. Our president is a tool bag, but he's also got some common sense stuff that makes sense. You know, our previous administration had some issues. If we're relying on the government to save us, we're screwed. It's up to us as people and community to come together and accept the fact that I'm very different from some of these other people. You know, my conduct around money, my conduct around my environment, my conduct around people, places, and things, or drug use or alcohol or any of that is different from other people that I've made decisions and took responsibility for. It doesn't make me better. It just makes me better for myself. I practice doing the next right thing. I practice spreading joy through music. I practice the opposite of where the ego and the other thing, the stranger, right? The dark passenger wants me to go, because that thought process and that mind is always going to be up there running and spinning. But I got to take a second to pause and be like, hang on a second. Is that really what I want to act out? Is that really what I want to say? Is that really the harm that I want to cause and put out into the atmosphere? You know, because when we speak, it's like abracadabra. We're manifesting things. You know, when we walk by somebody with a scowl and looking at them like they're a piece of trash, they're going to be like, whoa. You know, when we walk by somebody and just kind of smile and wave, it's like, oh. So we have permission, responsibility, and an opportunity to go into our heart, go back to that little inner child and just be joyous and free. You're going to have to clean up. I had to clean up some holes in my life, some messes in my rooms, some, you know, holes in my boat where money was leaking out because of my irresponsibility around spending. I had to fix some substance problems with what I put in my body, right into food too, because I'm not the healthiest, because the food is toxic, and I love food and I travel a lot, so it's hard for me to get on a good steady diet. I do walk and I do the best I can, but I'm not in perfect physical shape. I'm 52, so as I get older, you know, metabolism's change and all that. I've got work to do on that, is what I'm saying. And I've got work to do on my personality and my character and how I present myself. But I'm doing the best I can, and I'm trying to do the next right thing. And the next right thing I feel right now is to open my arms to all of these new cultures that are coming in, even if I don't agree with them on a religious front, but just see them as people and humans who need some water and food and love, and ask them about their story. And get curious, and don't be like, oh, are you here legally? Or are you here illegally? You know, I've heard some people say, you know, I bought into some of the rhetoric as well. I'm not innocent. I'm not free of blame. It's a human collective thing. But I just wanted to say, the more I open my heart to these people as beautiful souls. Another thing is Jehovah's Witnesses are multiracial, multicultural, and their material was translated to more languages than any other religion. They're doing a lot of things right. You may hear things about them, but they're doing a lot of things right. And I'm grateful to have been brought up in that, because my mentality about the world is different from most people's. And that's why I wanted to share with you. If you're seeing people from other countries, if you're seeing people who you don't agree with or you don't like what they're doing, understand that they're human and they're imperfect, and you've probably got some areas of your life you could be correcting and focusing on instead of looking outward. So to all my friends and family who I've had conversations with about all of this stuff and there were miscommunications, I take responsibility for my part, and I just want to get back to love. I hope you guys are well. You know, I think this too shall pass, and there is hope on the other side to a beautiful world of abundance, clarity, clean living, smiles and laughs.